For breakfast, we went to First Watch and I splurged. I got the salmon roasted vegetable frittata. It came with a green salad and a piece of toasted bread, which I think had a little butter on it. The frittata also had a little cream sauce on it. So this is what I decided to get. There's all sorts of things you can get there of varying calories, but this is actually one of the ones on the lower side. So I felt like I made a good choice. It was delicious. I enjoyed it tremendously. I wanted to talk about how I deal with that for the rest of the day. One thing I could do is just splurge the rest of the day, and this be one of those days I don't care about calories, but I'm not going to do that. So one thing is I could have just had half of it. I could have split it with my husband. I could have just eaten half. I could have ordered something else, maybe with lower calorie. Like I could have done a side of fruit and a bowl of cheese grits, which I think is only 180 calories. But I didn't want to do that. That's the food I wanted to get. I didn't want to eat half of it. I could have asked for it without the cream sauce. I could have eaten the bread. Certainly lots of options. I made smart choices so that my calories didn't get too high after that. For example, my family then went for ice cream later in the day, and I didn't get ice cream. I got an iced coffee, which was only 10 calories versus a soft serve ice cream, which, you never know how many calories that's going to be. You can estimate, but you just don't know what brand they're using and how much particular in terms of calories has. So lots of unknowns with ice cream, and I just didn't want to risk it, and I wasn't in the mood for ice cream. But when I did get home and it was time for lunch, while my husband, I think, had a sandwich, I made an option choice just to have an Outshine fruit bar, which is only 60 calories, and that was my lunch. And then when dinner came around, I could have some leftover pho, which I had from yesterday, which isn't that caloric. It's a broth-based Vietnamese soup, and it has rice noodles and chicken in it, and I love it. But it also has a lot of sodium in it, and I just decided that with already having the breakfast that was so caloric, I didn't want to have like high sodium in the evening. That's just a decision I made because I find that my body will hold on to weight a little more than normal if I'm having sodium. So for dinner, we had some chicken thighs that my husband grilled the other day, and I cut one up and heated it in the microwave for like a minute. And then my husband roasted some vegetables. There were two frozen bags, one with Brussels sprouts, one with carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower. And I think he just put a little seasoning and roasted it, no olive oil. But I think I had about 100 calories of that. I weighed it out, and my chicken thigh was about 105 calories, so certainly not like a real caloric meal. The other thing is my husband took a baking potato, cut it in cubes, and roasted it. And I had half of those cubes, so that's like another 80 calories. So the point here is that 280 calories or so was my dinner. And then I had another Outshine bar. That Outshine bar was 70 calories. I went for kind of a high calorie breakfast, not the most high calorie that they had at First Watch, but something that was a real treat and I enjoyed tremendously. And because I did that, I just paid attention to the rest of my day and made a choice not to let the rest of my day go to crap in terms of calories. And so I've had some other snacky things. I had a package of the Gimme seaweed wraps. They're 30 calories. That was delicious. I had a piece of chocolate sourdough bread. I don't know how many calories that one was. I put 140 in my calorie counter, but I mean, it could even be another 100 calories. Hopefully it will be relatively accurate, and I'm looking at my calories and I'm still doing pretty well today, and I feel like I had a lot of treats there, right? I had some popsicles and I had the breakfast out, and of course the gimme chips, which I don't know, I mean, it's kind of a health thing, it's kind of a salt thing. I think I did pretty good today, and of course The scale doesn't know that 24 hours has passed, or my body in terms of how it processes calories, but I'm gonna stick with where I am right now and probably not any more calories for the day, and I'll still be under the minimum of my calories as recommended by Noom. And hopefully tomorrow, if I didn't have too much sodium or didn't have too much stress or anything like that, the scale will thank me. I hope this is helpful to you, and I appreciate you watching, and you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.